Sad ending to a story that traveled around the world. We will hear from the man in this elk encounter after we learned that Smoky's Rangers put that animal down today. Worship with snakes continues for one preacher just hours after getting out of the courtroom. We'll have a look inside, and he explains why getting his snake seized is not slowing his congregation down.
10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV, Channel 10, Knoxville. The news starts now.
To put them down, that's... I'm really sad.
A sad ending to a story that traveled around the world. The elk in this video is euthanized by the National Park Service. Good evening. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Robin Wilhoit. John Becker has the night off. Park officials tell 10 News tonight they had to euthanize the elk because it was just too comfortable with humans. WBIR 10 News reporter John Henry joins us with the latest. John.
Well, Robin, we first told our viewers about the elk in this video last night. On October 20th, photographer James York was shooting pictures when the young bull elk approached him. The encounter is now famous. Dozens of media outlets around the world picked up the story and aired the video. But tonight we learned rangers put that elk down. We caught up with the photographer at the center of the video just a couple of hours ago after he learned about the elk's fate.
I'm sickened. I can't tell you how bad I feel. I was hoping to see him again and watch him grow up and become a mature bull elk, and I'm just so at a loss for words.
York tonight said he was deeply saddened by the recent turn of events. Park officials say York did not do anything wrong. They say the elk approached him and he did not interact with the elk. Rangers say the elk's friendly behavior began long before York met it. According to rangers, the animal had become habituated to getting food from humans. York said he did not understand why crews had to put the elk down and wondered why they could not find other options.
Was there no one who could take him? Was there no zoo? Was there no preserve willing to adopt this animal before they just decided to kill him?
Spokesperson Molly Schroer said moving the elk was not an option. She said rangers would not be able to retrain the elk to be fearful of humans, and that giving the elk to someone else would just make him their problem. York said he now wishes his famous pictures never happened.
All the joy's gone. I mean, it was no one got hurt, so it was a fun ride. I know the attention contributed to the animal being put down, and I wish it had never happened.
Rangers say this is the first time they've ever had to put down an elk in the Smokies. Robin?
All right, John, thanks so much. And the response on Facebook has been overwhelming. Since we posted it online 4 hours ago, there have been more than 1,700 comments and 1,300 shares. You can join that conversation by commenting online. Now to a developing story out of Sevier County. Gatlinburg police tell us they are working on an accident on the parkway where a pedestrian was struck. Firefighters say it happened in the past hour in front of a Shoney's. A victim was taken to UT Medical Center by ambulance. Of course, we will continue to follow the story and bring you any updates as they come in. TWRA may have seized a La Follette pastor's venomous snakes, but he is still handling snakes during services. Pastor Andrew Hamblin of Tabernacle Church of God pleaded not guilty in court to possessing those dangerous animals. He says even though he's not legally allowed to have the snakes, they have been handled at every service since that incident, including tonight.
The past two services, since they confiscated everything, there was other people that brought serpents in to the church. Other people, you know, they brought them in, and, you know, the Lord blessed, and they were handled here.
Hamblin says he has a small fear TWRA will interrupt a service in the future, but will make sure there are serpents at each one. He appears in court for a preliminary hearing on December 17th. Overcrowding has been an issue for a number of jails in our area. Knox County is trying to address that problem with a new safety center aimed at helping suspects accused of minor crimes. The county is continuing to develop a request for proposals to begin accepting bids from contractors. Meanwhile, Knox County law enforcement is forced to bring people accused of minor crimes like public intoxication to the jail in Northeast Knox County. One officer says it is an expensive practice.
The city, and I know the county does too, I'd imagine, spends millions of dollars a year incarcerating public intoxication charges that are nonviolent, and there is so much more we could do that is cheaper to the taxpayers.
County leaders hope to have a request for proposals ready to open for bids in just a couple of weeks. The Safety Center will house both those accused of minor crimes and those dealing with mental illness or addiction. The heads of Tennessee's 2 university systems say they hope to keep tuition increases low next year, but only if Governor Bill Haslam increases the state budget for higher education. Today, UT President Joe DiPietro and Board of Regents Chancellor John Morgan said they might be able to limit the tuition increase to 4% or less. But in order to do that, the state needs to add about $41 million in tax money. Governor Haslam is expected to present his budget proposal in January. Tonight, an East Tennessee community came together for a high school wrestler whose life was cut short. 17-year-old Skylar Boring died in May from what authorities suspect was an accidental gunshot wound. Boring wrestled for Heritage High School in Blount County. He graduated from that school just days before his death. Well, tonight, Skylar's family held a fundraiser to support a scholarship in his name. It'll be made available to at least one wrestler each year from any of Blount County's 4 high schools.
This would be awesome because he understands the struggle of getting through school and then continuing on. So I hope that he's proud.
The family also unveiled a portrait in his honor. His family plans to place it at Heritage High School soon. If you would like to know more about the scholarship, you'll soon be able to find out more information at our website, WBIR.com. A local veteran is saying cheers to his brothers in arms with a special celebration tonight. Sawworks Brewing Company held a Veterans Appreciation Night. Wally Judy, a manager with Sawworks, is an Air Force veteran. He said he wants to help the Warrior Service Dog Group, and that group pairs shelter dogs with veterans to help them cope with PTSD. $1 from each pie tonight will go toward the Warrior Service Dog Group. All right, it is time to dig into the history behind another interesting name around East Tennessee. On tonight's namesake, we head to a unique spot between Hot Springs and Hartford in the Pisgah National Forest. Just on the edge of the North Carolina state line, you'll find a cleared mountaintop called Max Patch. And that's where WBIR 10 News reporter Jim Matheny tells us about its namesake.
Let's go hiking. The first thing you think of is Max Patch.
Dwayne Stutzman and Sarah Davis of the Carolina Mountain Club have been married for a few decades.
They just know that it's special. It's just a happy place. It's just a happy place.
At Max Patch on the Appalachian Trail, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.
Wow, what a beautiful place. If there's a name that you've wondered about here in East Tennessee, just let us know. Go to WBIR.com or to our Facebook page and send Jim your ideas for namesake. Busy night of high school action on the gridiron. Coming up next, a dozen East Tennessee teams fight to keep their postseason hopes alive. We have all the highlights coming up in the Blitz.
And we continue to see cool temperatures tonight. Looks like they'll hold steady for the rest of tonight. That wave of mainly light rains that we saw earlier today and this evening has moved on off to our east. Will it clear out just in time for the weekend? Well, we'll talk about that, and we could be talking about an active front moving in late Sunday. We're back with your full weekend forecast next.